a lot of my friends, like, they have businesses, but in maybe like the first, however, like 3-4 months, they start having those, like, those hardships, those clashes, because their partnership doesn't align, but they were so excited about what the business could bring that they didn't think back. So I guess my question is now, do you think that partnerships can work, but you just have to trust the person? Or should people start businesses just like, one, like solely by themselves, and then start to like look for investors and partners?
Partnership can work,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of things have to be well defined.
Yeah.
And it depends on the scale of the business. Do you understand? For instance, let me give a good example. I've seen people in church, do partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And they are doing partnership of 20, 30, 40,000, $50,000. And there is no legal documentation. That's foolishness.
Yeah.
You understand? And what people say is that, oh, I know Temi. Temi is my sister, from church, and we attend the same house fellowship.
Yeah.
So I trust Temi. No, you don't. You don't, because you've never dealt with Temi with money. You understand? You don't fully realize who your sister is or your brother is until money is involved. And I'm even talking biological sister.
Yeah.
You don't realize that until money. And I can even go further and say at times, you don't understand who your wife or your husband is until money is involved. You understand what I'm saying? When real money is involved, then you see a change personality entirely.
Yeah, all the
And you say, okay, what happened there? So what I say to people is that try and get your documentations ready. Define who does what. Who is bringing what. If the business is going to be $50,000 and you tell me has the idea and I have the money, let's take it from there.
Okay.
You come with the idea and say, Pastor T, I have this idea, blah, 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 blah. I want to open, a makeup shop. I want to do this and da, 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 da. I say, okay, fine. How much will it cost, Temi? You say it's going to cost $50,000. I say, how much of this money are you bringing in? You say, Pastor T, I don't have the money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But you have. So I say, okay, fine. Because I can't do the job, you can do it. And because you cannot do the business if I don't give you the money. So we have to find a compromise. And the compromise might be, do I take 60% or you take 40? Or do we take 50-50?
50, yeah.
Most times people that have ideas always think that they must take the larger percentage because they are the ones with the ideas. And I say, I don't fight you over that. But guess what? Let's see how far you will go without money. Do you understand? That's where the gets stuck.
That's
so
true.
Once we define who gets what, then we'll now define who does what. Because if you have the idea and I'm bringing in the money, there is a way you have been working over time on this idea and you are running all over the place and you are working like 12-hour shifts. And there's a day you wake up and you're saying, what's happening here? I'm just laboring for Pastor T and he's going to share 50% from this money. No, it's going to change. Then you come back to me. Now, we've signed a contract. I said, Pastor T, I don't think this thing's going to work. I said, what do you mean? He said, no, I'm working too much. You didn't think about that before we started?
We signed the contract.
Talk about. That's where people start having problems.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's always better to define what the expectations are. Because once expectations are not being met, then disappointments come in and people start fighting.
Yeah.
So don't think about the expectations. Write it down. Verbalize it. Let both parties know.
Be on the,
They understand.
yeah,
So
on the same
understand the
page.
thing. You understand? And that's it. There are some people, because of their temperament or personality, no matter how good they are, it's just almost impossible to do business with them. It's just always impossible to do because everything ends up in an argument.
Yeah.
And after a while, you just get tired. You understand?
Yeah, definitely. That was some really good advice. But Pastor T, we're talking about money, we're talking about investments, and we're talking about opportunities. And, with that, like you said, money, there's risk involved. So how exactly do you manage those risks? Obviously, you may not be able to prevent them at times, but how can you manage those risks?
Honestly, it's a give and take thing. You know, the bigger the returns, the bigger the risk. Most times,
Yeah.
the bottom line for you is not to be greedy. Do you understand? Because I found out that when people become greedy, then they lose money. Do you understand? You know, that's my own. My mantra is godliness with contentment is great gain.
Ooh,
Godliness with contentment is great gain.
I like
You
that.
know, if I'm patient enough and I do investments, you know, of businesses in America, and I make a return of 16, 18, 20%, I'm okay. All I need to do is to do it 5 times, and I'll double my money. Do you understand? But some people are looking for 100%. Do you understand? At one time. If it's too good to be true, it might not be true. You know, so you have to look at it from that. You know, so when people promise you, you know, 1,000% return and things like that, let me give you a good example. There was a gentleman who came to me many years ago,
Right.
and he said he wanted to do some business, and the business was in oil and gas. And I said to him, now you are laughing yourself right now. You know, and I said to him, oil and gas. I said, do you know what it takes
It's
to do oil and gas?
that's not an easy business.
And he said, yeah, da. And he said, some people have asked him to bring some money and all that. I said, how much money? And he was talking about $100,000, $200,000. I said, for oil and gas? I said, that's nothing. I said, you know what? I think you are going to lose your money. So why don't you just keep your money and find some other business to do? And can I tell you the truth? That's the guy. I said, I don't see you as someone who can even do that business.
Oh, really? You were
There's,
upfront.
yeah, there's a way you have an understanding of people. And you are able to look at them because of your relationship
Yeah.
and say, no, you might not be able to do this, you lose money. So,
Did he take offense or?
oh man, he took offense.
He took offense.
He left the church
Uh-oh.
and he put $200,000 in it and he became bankrupt.
I mean, you
So the
tried
next
to-
time I said, what happened? He said he lost everything.
Uh-oh.
I said, I'm sorry. What can I say? Another example. Someone asked me for a loan. Very close person. And he said he wanted to do a particular business. And I said to him, I said, I know you. You're not a business person. You know, you can't do this business. Do you understand? Do you understand the business? I know he understands it, but he can't do it. Let me try and explain to you. You might be a good basketball player,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that you can buy a basketball team and run it.
True.
And it doesn't mean you can be a good coach. You understand? You might be a good basketball player. You understand? Michael Jordan was a very good basketball player, but he ran a basketball team and nothing happened.
Nothing.
Yeah. So I said, he didn't like it. He left. Eventually got some money, you know, not in church, but someone I knew very well, you know, close to. Got the money, started the business. The business didn't last 2 years. Everything went up, down, and he lost money. And I said to him, I said, this is what I was saying.
Trying to tell
I
you.
said, you are good at doing the business. Do it. Let people
Run it.
hire you
Yeah.
and pay you on contract and make money from there. But for you to run it yourself, you can't run it. That's what I took. And that is back to what I told him now. But now it's lost money. Do you understand? But it's good. Because there are times that you have to go through some things to learn a few things.
Yeah.
And that's what David meant, that it was good that I was afflicted so that I will be able to now trust God more. So at times, even God allows us to go through some of these things so that you can be able to come back and say,
I
thank
understand,
God.
yeah.
Thank God I went through that.
All right, Pastor T, it's been lovely chit-chatting with you today. You know, we're talking about money, we're talking about finance, investments. So if you like what you heard today, stay tuned for Insights with PT next week.